Okay, first I wanna make a series talking about appearance and astrology. I've been noticing that the moon actually affects your appearance, your moon sign actually. For example, you'd see people with moon in Aquarius. They tend to dress very unorthodox. Something they don't dress like how the typical average person on the street dresses. And there are many examples of people with moon in Aquarius. You could use Michael Jackson, Prince. I think even in sidereal, Kanye West is a moon Aquarius. I haven't expounded on how much the moon truly affects our appearance, so I'm not gonna focus on that. What I will focus on is mainly planets in the first or the seventh house. Reason why is because the first house represents your appearance, the way you look, your skin color, and your hairstyles. It could even represent your height, probably. I mentioned the seventh house because planets in the seventh house, like let's say Mars, aspects the first house, meaning that aspect will influence your appearance also. Your sun sign, I've noticed, mainly the sidereal sun sign, I've noticed could influence how you dress just a little bit. Again, you notice people with sun in Aquarius, like a Rihanna. I think she's an Aquarius in sidereal astrology. You would notice those people dress a lot differently than the average person would. Kobe Covington is another example. He has a sun in Aquarius. But what I noticed with the sun sign, really though, especially the sidereal sun sign, is that it it has something to do with a person's head shape and a little of the facial features. In this series of appearance and astrology, I will mainly talk about how planets in the first or the seventh house can influence one's appearance. Appearance as in the way their physical body looks, their body weight, maybe their height, the type of hairstyles they like using, just the whole overall body structure, maybe even the skin color. I'm gonna focus on that. And you, as the listener, you can do your own research as well and see what you come across with. Another thing I forgot to mention is that the sign planets in the first house is in, or the sign planets in the seventh house in, definitely can influence your appearance a lot, especially the sign planets are in the first house. That could definitely influence your appearance. For example, we could use Donald Trump sidereal chart right here. You'll see that his Mars is in the Leo or the Magha Nakshatra. The Magha Nakshatra, I haven't mastered that nakshatra yet, but what I've known about it is that it represents your ancestors and it represents people trying to be bosses, people trying to have high authority, you're trying to be the person that is in the top position. In the past, especially with the Vedic interpretation, this nakshatra would represent the kings. But obviously, in this day and age, not everybody could be a king, but everybody has the potential to become a boss. It could be a boss at work, it could be a boss at home. You know, someone tends to carry that title, like who runs the household you live in. That person carries that Magan energy. Aside from that Magan Nakshatra stuff, let's focus solely on what the Leo sign represents. Leo obviously represents people that want to become a boss. It represents independence. It shows where you truly self-express yourself. And in order to self-express yourself, you really need the independence to do so. It represents your self-esteem, your confidence. It shows that you have ego conflicts with, meaning wherever the sun is placed in your chart, you would notice that you can't tell that person associated with the house that the sun is in You can't tell that person what to do because they don't listen. And vice versa, where they try to tell you what to do and you don't listen. And you would notice that those same people tend to try and boss you around. They may shout out you and stuff like that. And obviously, Leo represents narcissism as well. So you notice Leo people tend to naturally have narcissistic traits. Whereas Mars represents our energy, what we put our physical energy into doing. You can observe this yourself by waiting until the full moon transits Aries. I remember recently, these past few months, whenever the full moon would transit Aries, I noticed I felt the urge or the need to want to be more active, just wanting to do something. It's the same effect whenever Mars transits Aries. So if Mars represents energy, and in our natal charts it shows what we put our energy into doing, whenever it's in the first or the seven house, the first house, just like Donald Trump shot right here, you would normally see someone be physically fit. Like bodybuilders could actually have Mars in the first house because their personality, which is the first house, their whole persona is taking on the energy of what Mars represents. Even an athlete could have something like Mars in the first house. Shaquille O'Neal is an example of that. Yes, I look at this chart. He had Mars conjunct Venus in the first house. And obviously, what comes with being athletic too, or someone that's energetic, they tend to be taller in stature. So you would often see that be the case with people who have Mars in the first house, regardless of its sign. Donald Trump is about 6'3", but what the focus should be is on that Leo side, how Mars in Leo or the Magha Nakshatra. Remember, Magha is about our ancestral lineage, right? So maybe he tries putting his energy into dressing like how his grandparents would have done. So the sun represents the father, so maybe he puts his energy into try dressing up like how his father would have done. So the real cause of why Donald Trump normally dresses in suits and stuff like that is because Leo energy makes him want to put his energy into dressing up like a boss. Someone that looks like a boss. You know, Leo also represents presidents as well because presidents doesn't it could be just a president of a company because those people tend to have the top positions. He could be someone that always dresses with a name tag on to show that he has a high position in whatever work field or whatever he does. On the other side, since Leo is about independence and self expression, showing who you truly are, obviously this makes him put his energy into showing who he truly is and his with his appearance. This could also make him get into arguments or fights if he isn't allowed to freely dress the way that he wants to. Not just dress, but has the choice to wear the hairstyle that he wants to wear. The hairstyle that he feels could represent who he truly is as a person. I remember during his presidency run, he used to get a lot of flack or excoriation for the way he used to present his hairstyle. Most people would crumble to that criticism and, you know, try to appease the masses. But what he did was he just stuck to who he truly is as a person. And if someone tried making him change how he wants to look and stuff like that, he would argue about that because he wants to be independent. He wants to be the boss, not just with his personality, but also through his appearance. He wants to give off that Magha energy, that boss energy. He wants to be the king. I can't be talking crazy about a lot of the things that I'm saying because if you look at when his Mars Antidash began, it was right after, it was 2 months after he announced his presidential campaign, and during that same Mars Antardasha, where this whole Mars and Magha thing will get activated, you see he won the presidential campaign. So he obviously went through all those campaign and putting his energy into truly trying to become a president, trying to become that king, that boss, and not just with appearance, but since the first house represents who you are as an individual, your personality, he literally became that exact thing that the Magha Nakshatra represents.
Follow me on the other apps.